Well, it's been a fast-paced day with dramatic developments unfolding in the case of Justice Varma, who was initially transferred from the Delhi High Court to the Allahabad High Court, only to face protests from lawyers at the Allahabad High Court. And now there is an investigation which has been sought for by the Supreme Court collegium, which the Delhi High Court Chief Justice now needs to provide. In the interim, where's the cash? What happened to all the money which was supposedly found at the residence of Justice Varma of the Delhi High Court? With me, someone who comes from Prayagraj himself and the former, one of the senior most judges of our country, Justice Katju, is joining us live. Great pleasure, Justice Katju, for us to be welcoming you at squirrels.in today, sir.
My pleasure too.
Let me begin first by asking you, sir, and a slightly personal question. You yourself come from Allahabad, sir. You come from Prayagraj. This judge who was brought in to the Delhi High Court seems to have practiced a lot in Allahabad earlier. What is your view on the judge, sir? Do you know him personally?
I know him personally very well. In fact, for 3 generations, my family and his family have known each other very well, and his family is held in very high regard. When I became a judge of Allahabad High Court in 1991, I first sat with his father, Justice A.N. Varma. He was my first senior judge. My first day in court, I was his junior on the bench. And his family has a very high reputation in Allahabad High Court. I know that personally because we have been knowing each other's families for 3 generations, as I told you. His father was Justice A.N. Varma. I think he recently died. And Justice A.N. Varma's elder brother, Mr. S.N. Varma, was offered High Court judgeship, but he did not accept that. And Justice Yashwant Varma's father, Justice A.N. Varma, and his elder brother, Mr. S.N. Varma, were very close to my uncle, Justice B.N. Katju, who became Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court. So we have, and Justice Yashwant Varma's grandfather was a colleague of my grandfather, Dr. K.N. Katju, whom, as you know, was a top lawyer in Allahabad High Court, and then he became governor of Odisha, West Bengal, and became Union Home Minister in Pandit Nehru's cabinet and so on. So we've known each other for 3 generations, and he has a very high reputation.
So if he has this high reputation, Justice Katju, and if you've known, as you're narrating to us, 3 generations, are you shocked? Are you surprised with the allegations that a sum of 15 crores was allegedly found in cash at the residence of Justice Varma in Delhi?
See, this 15 crore figure, where have you, media people, you people are capable of saying anything. I read on internet, one media person was saying 50 crore, 50 crore. Another saying 15 crore, somebody will say 100. Say anything you like. Where did you get this figure from? See, and moreover, what I have been saying repeatedly is that before taking any action, before coming to any conclusions, you must give a hearing to a man. There is a principle in law that no one should be condemned unheard. That is known as the principle of audi alteram partem, which means hear both sides. In this case, I doubt whether any of you media people ever went to him and asked him for his version.
No, forget that, sir. Forget the media. Justice Katju, is it not true that the Supreme Court Chief Justice, Supreme Court, the topmost judge of this country decided to transfer him to Allahabad High Court? Why did he take that decision, sir, if there was prima facie no evidence available?
Listen, first of all, don't think that Supreme Court judges are gods, God Almighty. There have been so many allegations against even Chief Justice of India. You remember Mr. Shanti Bhushan filed an application in the Supreme Court saying that half the previous Chief Justice of India were corrupt, and he named them. So don't go by that. I mean, that because it was a Supreme Court collegium. Collegium also may make mistakes. What I'm saying is that did the collegium ask Justice Varma to give his version?
No, sir, is it not true that certain facts were brought before Justice Khanna who on the basis of those facts then decided to take this decision of transferring to the Allahabad High Court. And if this story had not come out in the media, for all we know, Justice Varma may have been sent to Allahabad High Court.
Saying that those facts which came before the Supreme Court, those should have been placed before Justice Varma and said, these are the facts, these complaints which have come against you. What do you have to say about them? Was that done by the Supreme Court collegium, or they said, nahi, maro, bhagao, transfer karo? Yeah, in a rush. And I don't take Supreme Court judges as gods or something. They also make mistakes. जल्दीबाजी में आपको पास आया कि और आपने ट्रांसफर अरे भाई उसका वर्जन सुनते उसको कहते ये फैक्ट्स आए हमारे सामने these are the complaints against you what do you have to say what is your version that is the proper way to deal with the person जैसे I gave the example of Alice in Wonderland आपने पढ़ी होगी Alice in Wonderland उसमें Queen of Hearts उसके सामने any person brought as an accused she would say off with his head. So someone said, what about first holding a trial, giving him a hearing? She said, no, hearing afterward, first cut off his head. ये क्या तरीका है? अरे भाई, all I'm saying is give the man a hearing. Whatever complaints have come against him, place it before him. Tell him these are the complaints. What do you have to say about them? Yes, I'm not trying to sort of defend him. If he has done something wrong, certainly he should be punished. But give the man a hearing. I doubt the Supreme Court collegium asked him to give his version.
Sir, but Justice Katju, if I may ask you, sir, just imagine for a moment if this story of 15 crore or 50 crore cash was being narrated in the context of a politician, and God forbid if that politician was from the opposition alliance. Do you think any of this desire of getting to the other side would have then existed? Have we not seen so many instances in our country, sir, from Jharkhand to New Delhi, where chief ministers have been arrested on mere allegations of being involved in corruption? So why this? Is there a double standard then between the honorable my lords and the poor hapless citizens of this country?
No double standard. I myself have always been strongly against corruption in judiciary. I have myself initiated action against corrupt judges. I'm not trying to defend corrupt judges. But what I'm saying is that not all judges are corrupt. They are corrupt judges. They are also honest judges. Before you make up your mind, you must give the man a hearing. That is all I'm saying.
Could it be said that this is a frame-up? Justice Katju, I'm also being told that this is all potentially, perhaps, this is some side story, which is playing itself out in the shadowy, murky world of corridors of politics in the national capital. Are you one of those who believes that maybe Justice Varma was being targeted by someone?
I'm saying, leave aside whether targeting, I don't know about that. But what I'm saying, give the man a hearing before you take action. In theory, transfer is not a punishment. But in reality, it is, because it casts a very strong stigma against a person. Every person's reputation is a very vital asset. Supposing it becomes common knowledge that Bhupendra Chaubey is a crook, then your friend will keep away from you. You will suffer. A man's reputation is a very valuable asset, intangible asset of a man. So for destroying it, you have to be careful. You have to give a man a hearing. In this case, I doubt neither the media did it nor Supreme Court Collegium. I doubt whether Supreme Court Collegium asked him to give his version and told him that these are the facts against you. What do you have to say?
On what basis? Then tell me, Justice Katju, that on what basis would the Supreme Court Collegium would have come to this conclusion that what is being narrated before them? Surely they would have looked at some facts. Surely some pictures, some evidence must have been brought to the notice of Justice Khanna before he would have decided to send this judge packing.
Yes, some facts must have come before his knowledge. But then those facts should have been conveyed to Justice Varma and said, these facts have come to our knowledge. What do you have to say about it? I doubt whether this was done.
Okay. Can I ask you one straight question, Justice Katju? You began this conversation by saying that you've known of this judge for 3 generations. Right, you tell me, sir, you've seen so much of the world, you've seen so much of life. Do you think Justice Varma is a corrupt judge? Could he have taken money according to you?
No, I don't think so, because, listen, I can't say that there are many people who had earlier they were honest and later became corrupt. That is possible also. But his whole family has an outstanding reputation in Allahabad High Court. They are people of very high character. My family has my uncle, who was Chief Justice in Allahabad High Court, knew Justice Yashwant Varma's father and his elder brother. They were very close friends. I have known Justice Varma. He was a lawyer earlier. I have known the whole family very well. Of course, as I said, there is no guarantee that a person who has earlier been honest will not become corrupt later. That is also possible. But I'm saying before accusing a person, before making up your mind against a person, give him a hearing.
Okay. Tell me, sir, just for a moment, if we were to move beyond this case, we've had earlier instances. We had the case of Justice Gogoi when he was accused of some misconduct. He himself sat on a bench to give himself a free trade. Now this case, earlier in Delhi High Court, a judge, who was just elevated from the bar, he became a judge in the Delhi High Court because he made some comments which are not acceptable to the judiciary. He was also transferred to the Calcutta High Court. Do you think the time has come for us to look at allegations, questions which are raised against judges through a different lens? What is the mechanism of transparency within the judiciary, Justice Katju?
As I told you right in the beginning, I am totally against corrupt judges, and there is no doubt that there are many corrupt judges, even at very high levels in the Indian judiciary. I'm not trying to defend anybody. I have myself taken an action. You will remember I gave a judgment when in the Supreme Court saying something is rotten in the Allahabad High Court. You can check up on Google also. So, and I've taken action against corrupt. I'll give you one example. I was acting Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, and I came to know that some judges were doing grossly improper things. So I came to Delhi and I met the Chief Justice of India, Justice Lahoti. And I gave him a chit of 4 or 5 names. And I said, these people are creating havoc in Allahabad High Court. So Justice Lahoti asked me what should be done. I said, sir, you just give me permission and I will solve the whole problem. He said, what will you do? I said, I'm catching the night train back to Allahabad. And on reaching Allahabad, I'll call the Registrar General of the High Court. And I'll say, tell these judges, telephone them that acting Chief Justice has said that you will not be allowed entry into the Allahabad High Court gate. Your chamber has been locked up. You will be sent your salary check. You are entitled to your salary. You sit at home. You will not be allowed to enter into the High Court. So when I told this to Justice Lahoti, he said, no, Justice Katju, please don't do that, because then the politicians will get a handle. They see the judges in judiciary themselves are admitting that they are corruption, and then they'll do things against us. I said, sir, if you don't permit me, all right, I won't do it. But then I gave him that sheet of paper containing 4 or 5 names of Allahabad High Court judges who were indulging in gross corruption. And later on, he transferred them to some distant places. So what I'm trying to say is that I have always been against corruption. I have taken action against corrupt judges. But at the same time, I again repeat that don't condemn a man unheard.
Okay.
Whatever material, Supreme Court must have got some material. I know Justice Sanjeev Khanna, when I was Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, he was my puisne judge. He was number 8 or so in the Delhi High Court. So he was junior to me and very upright, no doubt about it. I'm not casting any doubts about his bona fides and integrity. But I said that this decision was taken in a hurry. They should have sent this material which they got to Justice Yashwant Varma, that this is the material we have got. What do you have to say about this? And after hearing this version, if you find that he has done wrong things, take action. There are so many things which can be done against a corrupt judge. You can deprive him of jurisdiction, you can transfer him to some other place, and of course, ultimately there is the impeachment procedure in the Constitution. So many things can be done. But all should be done after giving him a hearing.
Give him a chance. All right, Justice Katju, we hear you. Give him a chance. Don't just reprimand him. Don't just sentence him. without giving him a chance. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on the Squirrel Started.